Ah, did it again. Remember to turn up the sound. Ugh. There we go. All right. Just gonna do some setting up here. The usual routine. Boy, my brain fart is just really tremendous today. It's showing up. And I have sound. All right. Edit. What the heck happened here? Oh, good grief. My computer's doing weird crap again. Let's try this again. Well, it seems that any typefacing I did is out the window. It inserted like 7 lines in between each thing that I have in my description. I tried, I had everything all typeset and I don't know what it did. I don't know why it did this. It also got rid of most of the stuff I have on my music list. No, it didn't. Different computer. All right, well, that's gonna have to just do. Okay, playlists. Save. Here we go. That's an ad on my own video. That's not, so if anybody tries to copyright me, it's your own ad on my video. You put it there, so no complaints, please. Was Hydro? Okay. So I got that. Now let's share if it gets the screen out of the way. Alright, so Facebook. There we go. Twitter. Oh, Irate Alex is in the hospital for 2.5 hours. Oh. Yeah, Irate Alex is in the hospital. Doesn't say why yet, but I just responded to him. He's looking for things to watch. So, we'll see. He's looking for memes, but hey, if he wants to come and visit, that's cool. Oh. When Shani's been doing her usual stuff. Alright. Heck, what is that? No. Discord. Where's my channel? Yeah, I know it's a not safe for work channel. Not mine. Paranoia's. I'm not a fan of Discord, really. Kinda, I don't know. Boy, it's warning everything is not safe for work. What the heck? Jeez. All right. I'm getting out of Discord. I'm getting out of Twitter. Getting out of Facebook. Anything that's going to shoot me other odd notifications. Nope. Done. Not having it. All right. So, not doing any resin work today, just painting. And I have to file edges on this yet, but my little scrap resin piece that I had done the last live stream when I had extra resin in the thing and I didn't want to waste it, actually came out really adorable. I'm going to shape this and file it down with nail files. And then I'm going to make another one and do myself a pair of earrings if I don't drop it. Came out super cute. I love those little polymer clay flakes that I have for it. So, today's plans, just going to be working on the sea turtle and do some more on Santa Claus. On my breaks at work, I've been doing some My Little Pony paintings, my style with the Prismacolors and the watercolors and the inks and the acrylics, my mixed media paintings. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get another one at least of Princess Luna up on Etsy. And then my other plans this week is the Dragon of Marduk back there is actually going to get scanned. I have to call Monday and get an appointment set up with the art scanning company, and I'm going to get a print smaller than the canvas made as well, and get that signed and taken, you know, and then sent off to Digital Hammurabi finally. I'm sending them a copy of the file to be able to use on their website, but otherwise I'm going to take that file and do mugs and stuff like that. I have stuff that I'm putting into my Etsy store right now, which the link is in the description, but I have a Gravity Doesn't Need Your Permission t-shirt already there, and a Krabby Santa Claus shirt that I had bought the image copyright, and I modified it on the Santa Claus one. That's not my own piece. I'm planning on doing some digital designs of horses to put on other shirts and stuff, but right now the Gravity permission thing isn't a shirt yet, it's a mug, and I'll be doing more of that one because Gravity does not need our permission. And you know, just some more snark out of my head. But what I get done before Christmas, I get done. This whole room's got to get moved. The bedroom's got to get moved down here. Just a lot over the next month or so, just so that, and this art room's going upstairs, so I'm going to have a bigger workspace. I'll be able to have more spot to do some of like my doll work with Elowin Wild, and be able to have more of my stuff displayed, including my altar pieces, which I don't use my altar very much, but I like having it. And since I have a door that'll shut to keep the cats out from playing ting 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 with everything, yeah, so those are long-term goals. Plus, when I have family visiting, we can set the air mattresses up in my art room. It'll have its own heater up there. Pardon me. It gets really super cold. So at least the heater's on wheels. I can just roll it around as I need. And so there'll be space for guests to come visit and stuff. And I have lots of windows up there, so in the summer I can do more resin work and maybe work on an oil painting. It all depends on what we have plans, because our 5th wedding anniversary is in September, and Minnesota Renaissance Festival, their 50th anniversary is in September. That's why we had gotten married on their 45th anniversary, and 45 years of King Henry and Queen Elizabeth. And then after that, Minnesota Renaissance Festival is moving to new grounds. So they've been 50 years in the same spot, and that's our wedding anniversary too, for 5 years. So we'll see. We'll see what I get done. I just got an order to do a chainmail shirt. I'm going to be working on that, and probably doing some of that work on camera as well. So we'll see. And plus I got more face painting bling pieces to do, and just so many projects. Set up my garden room downstairs. I want to be able to grow my microgreens, which means the one room I have to have it stop being storage. Got to move everything out. I have art. I used to have my art room in the basement. I still have a shelf full of books and supplies down there. And magazines. The magazines I've been tearing up, saving the images that I want, putting them in binders that are labeled, you know, like landscapes, portraits, that sort of thing. And so it condenses the space down. and the other books are going to get packed up. What I want is going to go upstairs. The other stuff is going to be just stored for now. And then my two old art rooms, one will be our indoor greenhouse, and the other one is going to be our pantry, because this year I also need to start on canning and dehydrating foods and stuff. Just trying to prep for, hard times. So they do come, it's good to be prepared for that sort of thing. So I'm hoping to learn to can meats and just do general canning and a lot of dry canning, which is actually easier. My husband knows how to do that. So I'm going to buy things in bulk when I find them on sale, like pastas and grains and stuff like that, and just dry can a lot of it. And yeah, it'll be all set for, you don't know when things happen. And food is usually the first thing that it makes things a hardship. Because growing up, I know when my father left, we didn't have a lot in the way of food. We were eating a lot of oatmeal and stuff like that. And some of it was out of the horses' grain barrels, honestly, because they got fed first before anything else. And it's what we did to survive. And, yeah, my mom was growing German herbs and stuff like that, which I still like to eat, but of course this coming year I can't the following year either, probably, until we make sure we get the soil reconditioned, get all the garden beds reconditioned, and then the soil tested, and make sure that we don't have any more heavy metals in it. So yeah, after Christmas is just one long goal after goal after goal for 2020. But the 5th year anniversary will be a big thing. And I'm pretty excited about it. And my daughter and her girlfriend are going to come. And I'm sure my son and his girlfriend are going to come. And it's just, yeah, I love it, And Christmas time, though, we're going to family dinner again. I don't have to cook. Wunderbar. I like that. Stuffed myself with so much turkey. And of course, I still haven't been great with my diet either. So I'm at 220 again, but then that goes back down after a few days, and it's kind of up and down, but I just still have not been feeling wonderful. So it's like I'm putting more meat into my diet, and I need to just go back to clean eating again. I found out that I binge a lot more on snack foods if I'm trying to restrict too much and keep the meat out of my diet. I'm not satisfied. And then I just start chowing on, I get very snacky and I chow on everything. And I figured out that's kind of my trigger, is I'm restricting too much, and it's like, yeah, it's not doing me any good. I'm not losing any weight from it. I'm feeling mentally miserable, and time to just face the facts, So I have to be careful what things I have, and I think most of the problems with, like, our cholesterol and stuff like that might not be as much of red meat and things as it is extra crap, the frozen foods, the processed dry foods, the cereals, the chips, all of that stuff, all the crud that they have in there. And unfortunately, those are my favorite things to binge on, and it is just where I get so hungry and I can't stop eating. And it's like, I wasn't doing that when I was eating clean before, and I just let myself go, and I shouldn't have. But eating clean before, I felt satisfied most of the time. I have a food dehydrator. I have the equipment. I might as well utilize said equipment. And so, and I'm still going to have things like, I enjoy certain meals where I have seitan, and I have you know, I do make a vegan pizza that's really good, and it's mainly for calorie control for me because I do need to stay under a certain amount of calories. And there are vegan dishes I enjoy a lot, and I will eat them. But like right now, even plant-based milks, I can't stomach them. I can't stand the mouthfeel of them. So I ordered powdered goat milk again. So I do need to watch my calcium. I don't get a lot of calcium in like I should because I'm not a milk drinker. Cow's milk kind of just upsets my stomach. So, and I know goat milk doesn't, but it's super expensive. It's like a quart for almost $10, or not even a quart, whatever, it's 2 pints, whatever, the little skinny container. That's just about $10. And I can't see spending that, so I ordered some powdered stuff from Amazon. I can mix my own. I've had powdered milk before, and I actually liked it when I was little. I'd mix my own. I loved it, you know, because sometimes we'd get that from the food shelf or whatever, and I enjoyed that a lot. And it's still one of my comfort things for some odd reason. Just like we were laughing because it's comfort for me to make a Thanksgiving dinner. Not just to eat the turkey, which on Thanksgiving, I splurged so bad on food. I ate a ton, it felt like a ton of turkey. It was so good. Hubby's aunt makes fantastic turkey. But I was satisfied for like 14, 16 hours afterwards. I didn't eat. Just, now mind you, I had a more than a full day's of calories, but I just was so completely satisfied with it. And it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? But making the turkey and making the stuffing, and you know, I'll do that meal any time of the year. And it's just the whole process of it, and being in the kitchen and prepping the vegetables and doing all of this stuff. And it's just, the actions of it is kind of a comfort thing. And then the house smells amazing. And, you know, so a Thanksgiving style meal shouldn't be just in November. For me, that's all year long. But I tried to find some turkeys on sale after Thanksgiving, the day after. Went out. I didn't do Black Friday shopping. I don't do that. I did it once. I thought it was stupid. I just ordered stuff on sale on Amazon when it was there, but I still had to go out and get groceries, so, and my medications. So I went out on Black Friday, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go to these stores and I'm going to look at the turkeys, because I have an empty freezer down there. I could turn it back on, put a couple turkeys in there, and, you know, make those up, and we'd have lunch meat and stuff prepped. One bird, $46. They went, and the day after Thanksgiving, the birds were back up to $2 a pound. And I'm looking at chicken being $1.20 a pound. And, you know, I know there's all these people, well, you got to go organic and you got to go. No. And so Frank Tufano is talking about getting, buying birds for $200. And saying that's reasonable. Okay, rich boy, yeah, maybe for you it is, but not everybody's like that. I didn't buy any turkeys. I'm like, I can just go and stock up on chicken and pork and stuff when it's on sale and buy that stuff. Pork's not my favorite meat to eat, but I cook it very well. I'm very good at cooking it. So, you know, if I find a turkey on sale, or if I'm the only one in the house that eats ham unless the kids are down, but I'll buy a ham and cook it, and I'll just, save it for sandwiches and freeze it again, or for split pea soup and stuff. But, I'm just going to get meat when it's on sale. But I could not believe that they jacked up the prices on the birds as soon as Thanksgiving was done. It used to be that they would have them on sale the next day to get rid of the overstock of turkeys. And you still, the day after Thanksgiving, could find things for, 50 cents a pound. Not this year. So, enough yapping. If I break into this, which I think we will be fueled by Positive Energy by Bob Ross. Tastes like plums. Found some more cans of that they were 50 cents. I'm going to break into it. I have to work all night yet. 50 cents. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I drink them usually only on live streams because they are sugar. And I'm diabetic and I don't like to play around with the sugar. Alrighty. Spend enough time talking to myself. So let's get into it. I'm going to swap the camera. There we go. Camera quake. So for those who don't know, we have the sea turtle here. On previous live streams, excuse the glow from the lights. Actually, I need this light on too. Previous live stream, I had painted the background on wood. So all of this back here is done on the bare wood with acrylics. And then I did a layer of resin. Now I had outlined the turtle on that first layer. Then I painted the turtle. There's a video where I started, and then another live stream where I finished the turtle's body on that layer of resin. Then I coated another layer of resin. So that's been curing for a week. Nice and hard. And this is what we got so far. So I'm not quite sure what I'm approaching with this today. I'd like to get some extra seascape details right here without covering the background. And then there's going to be another layer of resin over top of that, which we won't do another resin pour today because the paint has to cure a bit itself. So let's see. So I'm just looking up images again. This one, there's been about 6 or 7 different images of the albino sea turtles that I was referencing. But it is my own piece. It is not a copy of somebody else's work, which is why my Eiffel Tower painting was a modified copy of a print that's on Amazon, and that is a special custom order for a kid with a heart transplant. So that is not, they wanted a painting, they didn't want to buy the print. And so yeah, I kind of did a little copyright issues there, but that one is not having prints made out of it. It's going to one person. So this one, I'm not going to be able to scan this and do images of this. I'm going to do another ocean painting though. I have the idea done on paper that I'm doing for a coloring book page. But I'm also going to make that into a large canvas painting, and I have a really big canvas. And I'll probably have more sea turtles and things in there. Get that professionally scanned and, you know, do the same thing. Now that I have a scanner I can work with, I'm pretty happy. Oh, gee, there's an image of a turtle with cancer. Poor thing. Let's see. I'm just looking for something interesting. Something inspiring. Let's see. I just don't know. Swim with wild turtles. Well, there's some interesting fish in that picture. Huh. All right. Alrighty, let's see. I'm trying to figure out what colors I want to work with. Not really sure. Ooh. Alright, let's do... coral reef images. That'd be kind of cool. Some real bright corals. Huh. Needs something right here. I want him diving down to something here. If I do way too colorful, I think it's going to detract from the turtle. Okay, I think I got it. So, where's my bag of paints? Right in front of me. Let's do a little ultramarine blue. I'm gonna definitely need the white. Going to need the black. Probably the persimmon. Yellow. Let's throw in the peach. What's that one? That's the heritage brick. Let's go with spiced berry. Princess pink. That's a shimmer color. I don't want that. Actually, I think that might be good. Something to play with. Oh, I'm gonna need some green. There we go. Thicket. It's a thicket color. All right. I also have a slate gray here too. I might have to dip into that. We'll see. Not quite sure how I'm going to do this, but I have an idea. Hi Mandy. Yeah, I've been going for a little while and there hasn't been anybody on, so like, what do you do? Let's get that glare off. Trying to adjust the lights. There we go. Still trying to figure out what I'm doing. Looking at coral reef images now. All right. It's been really quiet in here. Oh, great. I have a paint tube I can't open. There. Now, yes, this is acrylic. One time I accidentally mixed acrylics and oils. It didn't work out so good. Oh dear, and this really squished all over. Oh shoot. I'm covered in blue paint. I haven't even started the painting yet. It's not going to be this week. I have to deliver the Eiffel Tower painting and do some stuff around here. I want to get this done first. There's a reason. I want to be able to bring this up and bring Christmas presents up. So, yeah. I am finally to 2 days a week off, which is really nice, but I still feel like I don't accomplish a whole heck of a lot. Still trying to figure out what to do with these lights. That ain't it either. There, that's a little better. All right. Okay. Where'd the coral reef one go now? Somehow that ended up on a different window. A little black. A little bit of slate. I'm going to do the background for... I might actually do another layer of the background and then the corals are going to have to go on top of another layer of resin. Just got this feeling. Come on. Out of there. Yeah, let's go with that. This still isn't right. Well, at least I can kind of see what I'm doing, so that's the important part. I don't want to wreck. God bless it. I'm really having an issue with the light tonight. I think one of my ceiling bulbs is out. There, that's a little better. So really just kind of making it up, I guess. least the some of the bases for these corals is a little easy. All I have to do is dab with a brush. Not very hard. But it ends up looking like it's supposed to, so that's good. I do too. I'm really enjoying incorporating the resin into the painting. This is my first time doing this, and I'm really super happy with it. This just came out so much better than I could have ever expected. As I was watching or looking at, you know, different things on Pinterest where people are doing resin paintings and they have goldfish swimming and they end up looking so real and so three-dimensional, and it's like, oh my gosh, I want to do that so bad. And just never got myself into actually doing it, and this is coming out so much better than I expected. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a little bit of the persimmon color. There's going to be other layers over top of this too. And the fun part with the resin again is it ends up being like a wet on wet oil technique, and this is just so much fun. Switching to a little yellow. Your fake glass? I think this would be really cool done on a mirror. I used to do mirror paintings and stuff. One of the first ones I ever sold was a mirror. But man, I would just love to come up with something like for this. Do a whole ocean scene right on a mirror. Huh. Oh, okay. right, and let's dry that brush off for a minute. A little bit more yellow and orange up here. Yeah, I want to see it. No, I'm liking that. Ooh, girl. Nice. All right. I don't want to do there because I'm probably gonna do some pink over that. All right. Oh, fun. Very fun. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was going to end up needing more blue, but then I squished all the blue out too early, or when I was trying to open it. Blue all over my fingers. Well, I have a fairly clean surface. Let's add a little bit more bubbles. I'm going to need some more white. And my really tiny brush again. Here we go. Yeah. Do you know where your finger has been? Yes, I do. Trying to open the blue paint. Now these are intentionally in the background because the next layer of resin will go, and then there's going to be more over top. There's going to be more coral over top, I think. I think that's where I'm going. Okay, had to give him some light in his eye there. I don't want to do too much in some of these spots. Just trying to add a little dimension. Make things pop just a little bit more. I don't think I'm going to on the turtle himself, because I'm gonna do a few highlights here and there, but that's about it. That's what I'm working on right now. Just a few extra details here and there just to give it a little more dimension. And there's going to be lots of little fish everywhere too. I think. Maybe. And I still love that some of the resin had bubbled too. It just made it so natural looking. Watch feather paint, all sorts of white dots. Woohoo! Okay. I do agree though that maybe there should be just a little bit more on him to make his shell just pop a little bit more. Because it's going to be muted a little more once the resin layer is on it. Oh, hi, Sadie. That's fine. Real life and family come first. Always. Just doing turtle touch-ups today. And then I added another layer here. And then there's going to be, after the next layer of resin, there'll be more coral in the foreground. So right now I'm just adding little details on this layer of resin just to make the turtle kind of stand out a little better. And then we'll be working on Santa besides. Oh, I don't even know where to buy raw milk. I really want to try it. I found out the one Cub I go past to work, though, Cub Foods, has raw cheese. So I'm kind of thinking I'm going to try some. There we go. Just kind of correct some of my mess I made last time, because some of this did come out a little messy. want to have more better lines. There we go. That's looking better. And then we're going to switch to a little white. Raw milk is not, no. You can buy as pet milk, and I had actually tried and contacted one farm that's listed on one of the raw milk sites that I found on Primal Edge Health. But once I said that I was interested in the pet milk, and they didn't sell any cheese, but they sold some of their beef and stuff, and they just never got back to me. So like, yeah, okay. I suppose once I get to where I can find a local farmer or something, I might be able to get some, but I don't know. I think actually I'd do better with just getting some goat milk, because I prefer to drink that. I don't like the taste of cow's milk, and I don't like the upset I get from it. So I'm gonna see what I come up with. So right now I just ordered some powdered goat's milk, and which I don't mind mixing that and drinking that, because regular goat's milk at the store is like just about $10 for 2 pints. It's terrible. It's a lot richer flavor. It's got almost like a little bit more of a saltier type natural taste to it. Well, Troy drinks whole milk, whole cow's milk, so that's, you know, we just buy it at the store. But it's sometimes upsets my stomach because of whether it's cold or what the deal is. I don't know, but I just don't prefer to drink it. I've never had sheep milk. I've had sheep milk cheese, which I really love. That's got kind of a salty, sweet, nutty flavor to it. Sheep's milk cheese is so good. And that I normally get at the farmer's market when it's open, but the Minneapolis farmer's market's closed for the year because, well, we have a metric butt ton of snow out there right now. Not fun. But I think next time I'm at that Cub, I'm going to try buying some of the raw cheese and see how that is. I was doing okay with, I was doing okay with Blue Diamond makes an almond milk that they have banana in with it too. And it tastes really good. I mean, I'm not disparaging it at all. It's got a really good flavor, but it's getting to the point where I can't handle the mouthfeel of it. There's just something, I just can't. And so I'm like, you know, I like to have milk on cereal. I like to have that. And so, you know, do I just go back to drinking regular milk? Well, I'm not a fan of cow's milk. So, I'm gonna just use the goat milk. Oh, yeah, I know. There's more snow coming down here, and I have to work at midnight. I'm not thrilled. And there's a Lyft. Troy's not driving for Lyft tonight because they said, you know, we've got they're advising people not to be on the roads at all. And it's like, I'm a nurse. I don't have a choice. I have to be on the road. And I mean, it was slippery last night driving, and it was warm, but it actually was pretty slick. but Troy drove for me. Hubby did. Because part of my issue is I kind of panic a little bit. I don't like driving in bad weather. It freaks me out. I worked Thanksgiving night, but I had the night before off, so we just went out with family and had fun. I ate so much turkey that it was good stuff. And it's like, yeah, the thing is yeah, I really overstuffed myself because I said earlier, my husband's aunt makes fantastic turkey, and so I just, everybody, I mean, there were like 10 people there, everybody was pigging out anyway, but I was satisfied for like 14 hours or something. I didn't even snack anything or anything when I got home. Oh, geez. Yeah, he's plowing, isn't he? Yeah, Sadie, Thanksgiving wasn't too bad. It was a pretty quiet night. Just have the one patient, and it worked out pretty nice. Get a little detail in here too. This layer is all just enhancing the layer underneath. Oh. Yeah, but anyway, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm trying to keep my cholesterol down, and I'm actually losing focus. I need to be working more on keeping my sugars down, and losing weight. And I was kind of restricting myself the wrong way. I mean, my cholesterol's a problem too, but it's just, I figured out that's why I end up with all the binging and everything, is because I've just been not having enough animal fats, and not, once a week isn't enough. Because then I get so hungry, I want to eat everything in sight, and I've gained weight because of that. And when I lost weight before, it was, besides the pre-surgery stuff I had to do, I was having just meats and then whole foods besides, the whole plants and everything, and not having the processed snacky stuff, and not restricting meat from my diet. And I think that's what I need to go back to, because it triggers me to really, really binge. And I'm not happy with that. And I was watching Dr. Sean Baker have a discussion with another doctor last night, a vegan doctor, and I had never listened to Sean Baker before, and I'm like, he's right. Why am I restricting like this? What am I gaining from it? And I'm trying to correct one health problem and causing another, and that other health problem is gaining weight, which is going to get, cause me to fall further into diabetes and stuff, and I can't afford to gain weight. Oh, yes. Oh, I wish I could get him to come down here and do ours, because with my torn shoulder on the one side, and then my right wrist is bad. I can't shovel. So Troy's been going out to shovel, and he's not supposed to with the MS, and it's like, what the heck do we do? You know, because Minneapolis gripes and fines you if you don't shovel. You know, it's like, God, I can't win. Hi, Hannah. You can't spot gain weight. And thank you for the compliment, Mandy. I'm glad you're my niece. And thank you for the compliment, Sadie. But yeah, you can't not, some people just put fat in their midsection, regardless how much they work out or anything like that. That part is based on genetics. And so some people will put fat in other places, like on their butt and stuff. I just kind of put it more on my midsection. Like, my legs are skinny. The rest of me is not. And even though my mom is really, really, really thin, her midsection's a little bigger. And that's kind of where we carry it. Now, my father's side of the family, everybody was just kind of round. So instead of being curvy, I'm a curve. I don't have a thigh gap. I have actually pretty muscled thighs because I walk a lot. I bicycle a lot, so my thighs tend to really build up muscle. And my calves do too, but my calves and my ankles are really, really skinny. So it's like there's no fat on my calves and ankles. But my thighs have got the fat and the muscle. And I've always been like that. Even when I was showing horses and stuff and I weighed 105 pounds, I did not have a thigh gap. Hi, Mudbrooker. Yeah. Although I don't mind it being in the cleavage. I have lovely cleavage. But, yeah. My hips after 2 babies and birthing them naturally, and one was 9 pounds 6 ounces and the other one is 10 pounds 6 ounces, and I'm only 5 foot tall. My hips have gotten wider after birthing, but even then in high school when I was showing, let's see, my waist was 26 inches. I was a 32C, and I was wearing, I think, a 30-inch waist men's jeans for when the clothes that I was wearing for showing horses. So I had an hourglass figure from the beginning, so now my stomach just decided to fill in the rest of it, you know. But I still have a bit of an hourglass even though I'm overweight. But yeah, it was the typical, you know, 32, 24, 30, you know, whatever joke that they have in the songs. I actually had a figure like that. I do miss that, but I don't miss how thin I was because I wasn't healthy thin. All right, we're going to pop off the white here and get some other corals down here. So I don't think I'm ever going to see any resemblance of my high school figure back ever again. But it is what it is. I mean, you know, I'm 52. At some point, I'm going to get much older. And, you know, there's going to be skin and being elderly and stuff. And, you know, skin changes and wrinkles and all of that, you know. So it's just accepting the fact that I didn't stay young looking. My waist right now is at 38. It was at 46. So I've lost a significant amount in my waist. I'm wearing a size 18 pant right now. Women's pant. Just gonna put some of the sea cucumbers in here. Now, keep in mind all this stuff is going to have another layer of paint over top of it once another layer of resin goes in. So there's going to be gaps in the painting here that I'm going to cover up later. I still do watch her. And she popped over to my channel too. I mean, some of her stuff is kind of fun to listen to. I don't agree with her views on transgender. You know, we don't fully understand sexuality and how the brain and body coincide with each other. This isn't a secret NWO agenda, which she believes in and stuff, and I don't agree on that. But you know what? I talk to other people who are into flat earth and stuff like that too, and I don't agree with that, you know. So it's like I decided I was going to give Tuesday another chance. I just don't always comment or anything, but some of the stuff, I mean, she does point out things that people have done to themselves that are problems. I do not agree with the whole transgender view, and she's not promoting hate well, I don't know. She's not promoting violence towards a woman who is transitioning to a man or the other way around. But she believes that it is a conspiracy, and no, it isn't. It's people finally deciding enough is enough. I want to express who I am. I want to be who I am, and I'm tired of hiding, you know. And I have issues with when people think that, you know, all that stuff is just a satanic conspiracy and stuff like that. No, it isn't. It's just people wanting their rights. So yeah, I don't agree with her there. And she does have her problems and stuff, but, you know, like I said, I float around YouTube a lot. And I don't have to agree with everything on everybody that I watch. Like, I still watch Vegan Gains, and I can't stand him, but it's like sometimes some of it's kind of funny. I just found Lakshmi Dairy Girl again, too, and I'm going to have some fun with that one. That one I'm going after. She needs to be a regular target of mine, because she actually, while she's against the whole transgender thing, too, she's actually promoting hate. Even against dogs and other animals except cows. I mean, the woman is... Lakshmi Dairy Girl's a nut job from the word go. Yeah. I know Tuesday's anti-abortion, but what people aren't realizing that there's multifacets to the whole abortion issue. It was historically there were points where the government was mandating it and doing abortions and sterilizing people, especially in North Carolina and some other states more towards the south. And a lot of the people that it happened to were black because they tended to be more impoverished. And they were trying to use abortion and sterilization as a means of combating poverty, but it seemed to affect black people more than anybody else. And so there's that facet to abortion. Then the other thing that a lot of these people who are anti-abortion don't realize is that abortion was not a government lie, anything like that. Von Helton has said that it was a government lie, that women didn't go into back alleys and get abortions with coat hangers because, well, it's sharp. A lot of them would have died if they'd have done that. Duh, yeah. That's exactly what happened. Women, there's abortion in the Bible. Women are going to find a way anyway. And the big problem is not necessarily abortion itself. I think, there's times that it is necessary. It is medically necessary. Even if the mother is in a very bad psychological state, it is, at that point, can be medically necessary. And especially in cases like incest or severe deformities, now that we can see deformities in vitro, medically, we need to have it. It needs to stay legal. The problem is that our healthcare system is so bad and our education system is crap. And health education is not really there. Youngsters especially, are too focused on themselves and not actually just sitting there and learning about their bodies and learning how things work. So, pregnancy is a thing. And birth control is not as easy to get a hold of as people like to say it is. And health education is not as easy as people think it is. And especially in areas where the school systems are crap. So you get more and more of these unwanted pregnancies. And so birth control, since there isn't much, abortions become the birth control, and that's where we have the problem. I think it is a problem in the fact that it is being used as birth control and not as a last resort like it's supposed to be. So I am pro-choice, but I think abortion is done too much. And some women go and have multiple abortions over the years and stuff, and that is hard on the body. Well, giving birth is hard on the body too, but that isn't good. Yeah, exactly. People seem to think that abortions didn't happen before Roe versus Wade. Yeah, they did. They were a lot more dangerous. And so we need to keep them legal in order to preserve that safety, but we also need to, as I said, work on the sex education, work on support for babies after they're born, too. We don't have enough support for a lot of children that are born into poverty and stuff that have no recourse afterwards. they don't have food, they don't have proper education, they don't have clean living environments, they get sick, they've, you know, I mean, we're not taking care of the babies after they're born. And I think that is a bigger problem than abortion itself. Poverty and bad education and bad health care are bigger problems than abortion. And abortion, as I said, that isn't even really a problem. It's just how much it's being used is a problem. But it in itself is not. Views from your pediatric nurse today. And I have seen kids that were born that shouldn't have been. I had one die at 3 months old. Pain medication didn't help her. She did nothing but scream for hours. There was no stopping the pain this baby was in. That's all I got to say on that. Because Daphne is. Daphne's cute. She's very cute. I think her energy does it too. Oh, I really like that. That was really, that's a decent layer. I like that. Oh, that's her thing. She's a little punk gothic, you know. The girl's got a little goth in her. That's her thing. She likes her eyelashes, you know, but I hope she grows her hair back out. Then the eyelashes wouldn't be so stark, you know. She had absolutely beautiful hair and she cut it off. Like, Daphne, what are you doing? And she and her husband are nurses. And I commented on the one video yesterday, I think is when I commented on it. I watched a debate with Sunfruit Dan, who is now a carnivore, and Bart K, and Freely's ex-boyfriend, Durian Ryder. Oh, God. Yeah, she did. She did a full Britney Spears there. Anyway, I told Daphne that Durian Ryder turned around and said right in the debate, because I posed the question in the live chat and Bart K brought it up, if Durian thought that sugar cures diabetes itself. Not preventing diabetes, but actually curing it. And the Durian Ryder's an absolute flipping idiot. He was insisting that diabetics should carb up and they should have unlimited sugar and it's gonna cure their diabetes. And I'm like, I'm not taking any medical advice from you, Durian. Screw that. I've seen people in comas with 800 blood sugar when I worked in ICU. Oh my God. I was like, oh, did he just say that? And of course, Bart K is having an absolute blast with that. And I want to tackle a video on that too, because I bet you freely the banana girl feels the same way. You gotta know she feels the same way. Like, oh my God. And the thing is that there's people are gonna listen to that idiot. You just know it. And Sunfruit Dan had, had his entire channel removed because he was promoting drinking hydrogen peroxide and turpentine and stuff like that. So he reinvented himself. But YouTube banned him, and I honestly think that Durian Rider and Frilly the Banana Girl should be banned too. They're promoting a dangerous, dangerous diet. And if any diabetic who's desperate enough tries to listen to them, they're going to kill themselves. They just need to stop. I really like this background here. This is really working. Yeah, so I think we're gonna stop on this, because then what I'm gonna do is resin again, and then I'm gonna do some fish and some more coral, and then for sure do another coat of resin. If I do another layer beyond that, I don't know. But I think once I get the pink corals over top of this and get some fish swimming in here, get a couple fish up here, which I want on another layer. I don't want them on the same layer as this. I think that's going to work out just fine. That's some progress. Progress we has made. Woohoo. I like it. I love this piece. I was complaining about buying this frame for 14 bucks. I made it work. And I didn't take die cuts of somebody else's designs and layer it in the resin. I did my own painting with it, and I'm very pleased. So we're going to set him there, out of the way, on top of my tower. All right. So, I'm going to do the... Why doesn't he have gloves on? Did you guys notice that? He's got bare hands. Touching snow? I just found a flaw with this carving. Like, seriously? I found the flaw in the sculpt. He's got fingernails showing. I'm going to have to just fill that in with paint. I'll be darned. I noticed it last time, but I didn't really think about it. That Santa has fingernails. Touching snow. Okay, so last time I was working Ashley Graham. I don't know who Ashley Graham is. If I do, I don't remember off the top of my head. Mudbrooker. Ah, he's getting gloves. That's about it, though. I'll make sure I got all the... Yeah, I did get all the reds. His coat looks great. Very happy with that. Sadie! Oh, I thought you meant Santa's a plus-size model. No, I'm gonna have to look her up. I don't pay much attention to models, honestly. I have some that I like. Heidi Klum for sure. Heidi Klum is hot. But no, I misread it and I thought you said Santa is a plus-size model. I'm dying. Oh my God. Heidi Klum, Victoria's Secret. She is quintessential Victoria's Secret. She's also on she was one of the judges for years on Project Runway. But she's just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, she's wanting to change her name. Why does she have to legally file to change her name after getting married? Why didn't she change it when she got married? Yeah, she doesn't model anymore, but I'm gonna share this one because she's still gorgeous. And yeah, she was a judge on America's Got Talent too. Let me see if I can find some of her old Victoria's Secret pictures. She's one of the Victoria's Secret angels. Open image in new tab. Let's see if that does it. Here we go. And she's German. She was married to a singer named Seal for quite a while. Oh, it's not going to let me post it. Crap. Yeah, turkey. Well, shoot. See if it lets me do that one. That's a great picture. I want to be able to share it, but it's going over the limit. There we go. Yeah, that's an old image. She was modeling when she was a lot younger. She's been in the business for a very, very long time. Yeah, she's an older model. I forgot how old she is, but one of their top Victoria's Secret girls. Here's the last one I'm going to share. She was, Heidi Klum was modeling along with Naomi Campbell and some of the other older models that, you know, kind of made history in modeling. So you think I'm gonna... There we go. Let's do that first. I'm gonna have to do multiple layers of brick color on here. You're not gonna get out of paying taxes. I can tell you that. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Edna Mode is hilarious. I even loved the second Incredibles movie. That was great. Oops. Yeah, well, it is a thing, and it's gonna be worse before it gets any better. For everybody. Unless you're a multi-billionaire, then, you know, you get all your tax breaks. But the Democrats are trying to change that now, which I think is much needed, actually. Because actually, percentage-wise, people at the poverty level are paying more in taxes than the wealthy are. And they need, you know, people at poverty level need all that they can for food and transportation to get to work and stuff, and yet, you know, the wealthy are getting bigger tax breaks. Oh, that looks nice. Oh yeah, it's crazy messed up crap. Just a second. It's just because the lawmakers are all tied in with the big boys who don't want to pay the taxes. And that includes our illustrious president. And a lot of these people own, like, the insurance companies, own big food production companies, have their mitts in coal, stuff like that. And they get humongous tax breaks. Where people who work our butts off pay more and more in taxes. Yeah, and well, it was because of her spunk and her curves, and you know, she knows how to walk, and she's just hot, you know. So So she was definitely the Victoria's Secret model. Oh, these bricks are coming out really nice already. What I don't like with the modeling right now is, you know, they've gone from one extreme to the other, from having rail thin models to Tess Holiday. Like, I forgot what fashion show she was in. They made Tess the ugliest frickin' outfit. It was like, it was a joke. And then she gets at the end of the runway and goes and wiggles her cleavage and does a total slut move and can barely walk. And they had her in flats and all of this. And it's like, and then in the grossest, ugliest outfit imaginable, and just made a joke out of Tess. And I don't even think the woman realizes it. So they went from one extreme to completely unhealthy the other direction. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, and then Tess goes and has conniptions and, you know, yells at people on her Instagram and everything for posting photos of their weight loss and stuff, and how that's not body positive and the stuff. And it's like, Tess is a turd. This gets tricky trying to get in these little corners and nooks and crannies. It. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's why Heidi Klum made it as far as she did, because she's that good. And she can't be ignored. There we go. I'm doing these bricks to look rough because you get into masonry, it never is very smooth and perfect when you're had stuff that's been weathered for years and years and years, you know. Bricks deteriorate. But I will go through with another layer of gray in there after all this is dried. Yeah, Tess does have a pretty face. But she can't runway walk to save her life any more than I can. Set him down for a minute. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to put some music on for you guys really quick, and I have to go to the bathroom really bad. Had too much caffeine before I started. Let's put the turtle back and give you guys something to look at. I can't. I had surgery, so my bladder's a little smaller than previously. I really need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. go. I am back. Woohoo. And yes, I washed my hands. Over a year ago, I had a uterine prolapse, which means that my uterus, part of my vaginal canal, part of my bowels, and my bladder, the uterus was actually it came out. And it was taking everything down with it, and it was tearing tissues as it was pulling my intestines down and pulling everything down. And I was in like 9 tons of pain, and having to take all sorts of bowel medication and everything just to be able to go. And so they removed my uterus and my ovaries because I had polycystic ovarian disease. And so, like, my one ovary was about the size of my fist. It had cysts that bad. The uterus was full of cysts. They just removed all of that, and then they took my own ligaments and stitched my intestines and my bladder back into place because they were coming out as well. So I have a permanent 30-pound weight restriction for lifting. And whatever it is, it's like my bladder feels like it's like, 10 times smaller than it was or something. And it's like if I don't go right away, I will get so nauseated I throw up. So, not good. Puking on camera would not be good for my YouTube channel. Yeah, it was a pretty major surgery, so... I get some lotion back on my hands here. Cold weather moved in and the eczema got worse, I swear. And of course I have to work tonight, and getting into the soaps and everything just makes my hands burn so much more. I don't know. Probably from being a mom. But also theater and speech and lots of singing and performing. So yeah, it's I had some of my vocal training at the University of Minnesota when I was still in high school, and they didn't have the college and high school program back then. So I graduated in 1986, and so in 85 is when I had the training with the U of M through my choir. So a lot of vocal training. So it's probably part of it. I enjoy my age, actually. I mean, yeah, I've got physical problems, but all in all, I feel emotionally better than I ever did. I feel like I've kind of come into myself. I know who I am. I'm pretty happy with the person I've become. And it's just, I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Yeah. I think as a part of it was my youth wasn't the best. I mean, I had good points in my childhood, but I had some rough points pretty badly rough points as a child. And my marriage wasn't great either to my first husband. And I think once I got divorced and lived on my own for 5 years before I got married again, I think I just learned who I was. I had never lived on my own before. And while I had my kids and stuff, I had never had to make ends meet and do things on my own and finagle things. And because I went from living with my parents, I moved out when I was 26 and in with my first husband. And so I always had people dictating my life to me. And living on my own, I dictated my life. You know, I still had to work. I still had to deal with the court. I still had to deal with custody hearings and all that crap. But I was determining my path and I was determining my life, and I didn't have my ex or anybody else telling me who I had to be. And it was rough, but I think it was the best learning experience I could have had. Because I learned who I was, and I learned the measure of who I was, and that I could do things, and I could manage it on my own. And that I'm a fairly decent person, so, you know. We all make our mistakes, we all screw up, we all have our times where we're utter turds, but overall, I like who I became. I had nothing to be sorry for. Honestly, there's people who have it a lot harder. And I mean, yeah, with my husband it's rough. That's the rough part, is watching him suffer is really bad. But overall, you know, financially we're not in the best shape or anything, but we're making it. We're doing it. And I have 2 great kids. I love my kids dearly. They're the best things in my life. And not really. I mean, I'm sorry that it's making you feel sad, but it really isn't anything. I mean, I get situationally depressed, and you know, I know my weight and my diet's not helping with that, but other than that, generally, overall, I don't think things are bad. And it is all about learning to love yourself first. And it's not, I mean, a lot of it is, yeah, being comfortable in your own skin and learning to be comfortable with your body and that respect. But it's about learning who you are as a person too. And to do, you know, try and do the right thing as much as possible, because it is the right thing to do. Not for any rewards, not for any afterlife, anything like that. You just do things because it's what needs to be done, you know, it's the right thing. And if you can try and live by that and forgive yourself and make amends with people that you make mistakes to, or that you inadvertently do harm, because it will happen, you're going to find that your life is okay, you know? Whether you're wealthy or not, it doesn't in the long run, it doesn't matter. I didn't at your age either. Honestly, I did not. I was suicidal. I was into self-abuse quite a bit because I had no other recourse. And then it just became habit. A lot of these scars, there's a reason these scars are here. I started that when I was 8 years old. So I didn't love myself then. It took me a lot of years to get to where I do. And it may take a long time, it may take a short time for you, but it will happen. And that the biggest thing for me, like I said, is to make sure you do the right thing, and not just for other people. Don't lose yourself in thinking, trying to match what other people want of you, what they think of you, and what they expect of you. Because you have to, while yeah, you have to deal with this world and you have to take care of others, do not forget to take care of yourself. It's all about the balance in there, because your health is going to go mentally and physically if you do not remember to care for yourself as well. And that's a lesson I had to learn, because I will give and give and give and give and give and then lose myself in the process. Oh yeah, me too. And you got to think where, I think where Mudbrooker and I both grew up in our time period. Oh God, I sound like I'm ancient, and I just made him sound ancient. There wasn't as much as for advocacy. There wasn't as much for support groups for children and teenagers. Children were at the mercy of their parents. And that's how I grew up. And it literally was at the mercy of my parents. And, you know, one of the big things was when my father left when I was 5, and he never came back for 27 years. But when he finally came back, the first thing he did, standing on my doorstep, is he was crying and said, "I'm so sorry." And we made up right in that moment. And so some of the things that happened because of those actions he did were made a little bit easier. It didn't fix it, but it made it a little bit more less, or a little less painful, I should say. And some of it sucks, but I think overall, I think my life has been pretty good. Overall. Well, thank you, Sadie. You'll find your way. Drugs and alcohol. He threw away a career. He threw away a family. He took off with a 15-year-old girl who was my babysitter. He threw a lot away, and then he got lost. And then he realized what he'd done, and I was his only kid because, you know, I got to see the rest of the family again and everything, and he never had any other children, and I had his only grandchildren, and he threw an awful lot away. And he realized that towards the end. So I had 6 years with him before he passed away that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't accepted him on my doorstep the way he was. And he got to do stuff with his grandkids, and you know, they remember him fondly, and that's important, you know. And it's not that my children, well, my college kids don't know what he did. They knew then too. But it's like, oh, grandpa's back, you know, and that's that level of forgiveness. And I was able to do that. And no, I'm not Christian, but, you know, I was able to find that in myself. And it turned out to be a wonderful thing, both for him and for me. And I'll never regret that decision. So you're going to find experiences in your life that, yeah, there's going to be crappy ones, but there's going to be times too where you're just going to realize how powerful of a person you are and what you can endure and what you can pull through and come out on top and be you. And you're going to find that power. And you're going to find out how amazing of a person you are. Once you learn that of yourself, you're going to find out you are pretty amazing. I've never had one. I don't know. I think people reach a certain age and they decide that they want to do something else completely, or they want to be somebody else, or they're not satisfied with their life, and they feel something's missing, so they have this mysterious midlife crisis thing. I think it's more of a joke than anything else. Because what some people attribute to midlife crisis could be a person that's, you know, has untreated bipolar disorder. I mean, you know, who knows? I think it's a myth. But some people will have mental health changes and stuff that occur later in life. And I think some of that comes from, you know, that myth about the midlife crisis may come from that. Of course, maybe I'm that way because, you know, I have, of course, I've always liked toys and doll houses and things like that anyway, and making toys and stuff. So I don't think I've even really gone through a midlife crisis, if there is such a thing. Surrounding myself with My Little Pony and Briar Horse models and science fiction art and gaming stuff. Like, I've got stuffed creepers. I've got, you know, I'm wearing a Diva shirt from Overwatch. I don't count that as a midlife crisis either. I think it's just surrounding myself with what inspires me. My dream job was to be an artist. And I got into nursing because of family influence, and I'd originally, you know, I was raised with, well, you know, you can't survive on art, so you need to have something else. So I was actually going on for computer programming and science programming. So in high school, I was writing physics software for the physics classes in my computer science class. That I was on independent study for computer classes in high school. And then I had several years of computer training at my 2-year college, because they used to offer a 4-year computer program. But assembly language kind of nailed me in the butt there. I just could not, I still can't wrap my head around assembly language. So by that point, I went into nursing because my mom kept pushing me. I was still living at home. And I became a nursing assistant first, and found out that I loved doing it, and I loved taking care of people, and I decided to go on to become a nurse. And that's pretty much how it happened. I still finished my computer science degree because I was like 1 semester off, and I wasn't going to waste all that schooling. Yeah, I suppose. You know, and I was getting divorced when I was about 40. You know, my divorce finalized in 2007. So, you know, maybe that was my midlife crisis. I just didn't realize it because, well, I had change happening to me. I wasn't making the change, it was being thrown on me. So, you know, maybe that was it. But no, as far as my dream job, you know, it was assembling computer systems and setting up networks. Yeah, I helped set up Novell Network 4, which is a really old network system at the college I was at and stuff. And I wanted to be a computer programmer, and I wanted to, you know, do what people do now and design games and stuff like that. I even dreamt about changes in games that are happening now. You know, the graphics engines and everything else. Because once I discovered computers, boy, that was my jam. But the main thing I always wanted to do was be an artist and a writer. So I have stories that I've written over the years too. I still have them on discs and stuff, but I'm not as good as I used to think I was. So the stories are there. Don't know what, you know, if I'll ever get to publishing any of them someday or not. Children's books for sure. I have several written and finished. I just have to illustrate. I don't really know what to consider middle age, because we're getting older and older and older as a species with our medical care and stuff. I think middle age is going to shift. I'd say right now I'm at middle age at 52. So I hope it's middle age. I hope I make it to being a centenarian, because I'm not ready to go, you know. And I have to admit, it kind of bothers me, the thought of what's going to happen after I pass on, when my life is done. am I going to be any more or be remembered any more than just a name with some information on Ancestry.com? I mean, seriously. And maybe that's what I am pushing, you know, so much art and so much all this stuff, because that'll be my immortality, you know? And I think doing my family tree and everything on Ancestry, I think that was part of it that spurred that. What kind of legacy am I going to leave behind? I know these videos will still be out there. Well, I know I've made changes in people's lives. I know I've made good changes in people's lives. But I guess I'm just not ready to be gone from this world. If the gods are real, say if only Yeha Veha was real. If only the Christian Judaic God was real or whatever, I'd probably be yelling at him and saying, send me back for Pete's sake. I mean, and maybe it's just because I'm at that age, and maybe I'm having my midlife crisis now. Maybe. Because I'm not ready. It kind of scares me, the thought of passing away, and it's because I'm just not ready to. I've finally come into myself. I'm happy with who I am. And there's so many things I want to do yet. So many paintings in my head, so many places I want to see, so many people I want to meet, and all of this, and I'm just not ready. And I think that's what bothers me the most, and maybe that's what the midlife crisis is. Med Brooker. Yeah, there is that. Right now, I wish the snow outside would go away. I agree with that. Yeah, the funniest experience, and it was kind of weird and funny all at the same time, is on my 50th birthday, I'm in a coven, and one of the coven members, I've known all these people for a very long time, and one of the coven members would have to take her mother to rituals and stuff, because there was nobody else to watch her. The lady was in her 90s. I mean, she's really old. So she died right before my birthday. So on my 50th birthday, I had to go to this lady's funeral. And of course, everybody there knew it, and there was a whole bunch of people there. I mean, lots and lots of people. But everybody knew it was my birthday, too. And it was just such a weird experience, because it made me think of my mortality that day. Here I'm exactly 50, so I considered, okay, I'm at half my life, and I'm at a funeral today at half of my life. And it wasn't depressing, it was just, kind of an epiphany experience, I guess. And then once I got back from the funeral, one of my former patients and his mom called to wish me a happy birthday that day. I didn't even have the key in my door because I had just driven home from this funeral. So here I had made enough of a difference to these people that they called to wish me a happy birthday, all on that same day. And it just kind of brought everything to a head, like, what do I want with the rest of my life? And made me come to terms with the past and with my own age. And it was just, I mean, I almost sound like a Buddhist, I guess, in that respect. I think the Dalai Lama would probably be nodding his head at me and smiling, because it's like, I think I really came to a deep realization of how fleeting everything is, but to what I have done of worth in the past, and to make more worthwhile I can for the future. And then at some point, for me, you know, I'm getting older, and that's a reality. And it was so weird. It's so hard to explain it, but it was kind of cool. In a weird way, it was kind of cool. Yeah, I am. I'm 52 now, so that was 2 years ago, you know. I guess what's kind of funny is I'm trying to leave my name on as many art pieces as I can. And then who knows? You know, I could just see it 100 years from now, the new version of Antiques Roadshow. There will be a whole bunch of art pieces with my name on it. Well, who was christinerietsch? Well, obviously an artist. Let's look her up. Oh, there she is on Ancestry. Look at that. I'm gonna have my pieces on a Antique Roadshow. Oh my gosh, I'm weird. Yeah, we have the Metropolitan Museum of Art in Minneapolis, and I had to go for high school, or for college, actually, early college, for art appreciation. I still had to take art appreciation. And I set off the alarms because there was one bronze that was sculpted so beautifully, and I had to touch it. I had security guards. My teacher was almost face palming. It's like, I told you we're not supposed to touch anything. And I was the only artist in the class. So yeah, I'm fun at a museum. Yeah, leaving my name on all those pieces. Oh, yeah. I'd be needle felting today if my hand could handle it, but yeah, leaving names on dragons and stuff like that. I'm not Michelangelo. I'm not, you know, I'm not like the masters in any way, shape, or form. But I'm going to leave my mark out there, darn it. That's one thing I want to see, though, is the Sistine Chapel. Oh, God. I want to see that so bad. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he smells bad. Eating nothing but meat and then the rotten liver in a jar, and oh my gosh, he's got a reek. I bet Severia does too, or as everybody says his name, Sverige. It's actually pronounced Severia. But yeah, you know that guy stinks to high heaven. Raw, rotten meat. Ugh. Yep, the nut butters of YouTube. Oh, yeah, he complains about how unhealthy vegans are, and that they're, you know, that they don't keep their hair and everything, and here he's balding like crazy. And he's got that really bad balding mullet there, you know. It's like, yeah, hair loss is genetic. Hate to tell you, Severia. And then he claims he never gets sick, but yet here he ended up hospitalized because he had gotten sick from eating raw bone marrow. Like, really, dude? I've called him out on that a few times on his videos. Well, I never get sick. You're lying? You even recorded a video saying you got sick from raw bone marrow? Don't lie to us. But it's funny to watch because he has the same things all the time. Well, you're missing over 50 nutrients. And he just goes on, and it's always the same answers. And I dread. He's overweight. His girlfriend is pregnant. He's going to be a hideous father. Oh my God. He didn't understand walking toys for babies. He tried to say that getting a baby to walk is unnatural. I'm like, what sort of retard are you? Pardon my language, and no, that's not appropriate to say that, but really. How is a baby learning to walk unnatural? I mean, seriously. When are they supposed to learn to walk? Oh, this was made in 1992. Oh, look at that. Yeah, he is. He's a freely the other direction. Frank Tufano is too. Frank Tufano's been getting sicker, and I think it's because all the potassium from the organ meats and everything he's eating, and probably, you know, I'm sure heavy metals and everything in the organ meats too. And he's complaining that it's EMF radiation that's causing him to feel sick. So he built himself a Faraday cage and all this. It's like, oh, dude, you know, maybe you want to incorporate other things into your diet. Oh, and supposedly 5G broadband is going to cause him to be more sick too. There you go, Mudbrooker. I just pointed you out to some more idiocy on YouTube. When we thought flat Earth was the epitome. TVC? Just like TVC. I'm not recognizing the initials. Oh, I can't stand them too. Oh my gosh, I can't take them too. They're awful. They're just absolutely awful people. And this is going to sound judgmental to me. I'm being a hypocrite, but they are so judgmental. And they don't know squat about what they're talking about. They're absolutely horrible. They need to go crawl under a rock. I just realized I'm missing part of Santa's arm didn't get painted way back under here. Whoops. I'll have to fix that later. I have a half hour yet to paint, and then I gotta get ready for work. 30 minutes to go. But yeah, that vegan couple, they're just hideous. No, my husband is not much of a, you know, he doesn't have a lot of muscle either. Of course, he's losing muscle mass because of the MS, but you know, he doesn't have the bulk or anything like that. So I don't like using the whole soy boy thing. I think there's other factors involved as to why, you know, there are men who are a lot more feminine looking than others, or have a lot less body mass than others. Oh, Swayze is? Oh, it's rough. I've seen stuff about Super Tasters. That's really rough. With Super Tasters, it's like anything can be just unpalatable to them because they taste every little nuance. If something is just slightly off, they're going to notice it. And a lot of Super Tasters end up where they can only eat one thing. Like some will only be able to eat potatoes. Other ones will only be able to eat bread. I mean, Super Tasters are really, they really have a hard time. So, oh my gosh, I don't envy that. It's not the same as people like me. I can, you know, where you can taste something and go, oh, well, this herb is in here, and I can tell you that you've done this, and like I can pick apart a sauce and what's in it just by tasting it, which my husband's like, you should go on Hell's Kitchen. No. But anyway, that's not the same though. That's having a trained palate. But Super Tasters are something else completely. And some children that they don't realize are Super Tasters right away are extremely finicky and balk at trying any new foods. And that's because they have that super taste ability. Their taste buds are really, really sensitive. It's not texture. So my friend's son will only eat one brand of peanut butter, and if you don't tell him you've changed the brand, he'll know you changed it. And he was always extremely finicky, and there's still a lot of things that he won't eat because he just balks at trying something a certain way, or if one herb is off, he'll notice the difference and he balks at it, and some of them actually get nauseated, stuff like that, from changes in their food or having something that doesn't sit right with them. So it is about the taste buds and the nerve endings and the taste response. So super tasters are pretty interesting. Glad I'm not one. I think it is, yeah. Now, I have a different genetic mutation. Like most kids, like, you know, you always have the joke about how you can't get kids to eat broccoli or eat greens or anything, and parents frustrate over it. And kids will just absolutely fight tooth and nail anything not to eat that particular thing. I have a genetic switch that things like broccoli and spinach and other things taste sweet to me. My palate picks out the sugars. And not many people have that mutation. But I'm also able to discern, you know, what is in a cooked food, what's been used to make that dish. I don't know what oxalate would taste like. Because you're dealing with other chemicals in the spinach, and I'm not meaning chemicals as in everything in life is made of chemicals. You know, that's what I mean by the use of the word. There's other molecules in there and things like that that modify the flavor of it. So I don't know what, I guess I would have to taste a pure oxalate, which I don't know if that's healthy or not, but to know what it would taste like, to know if that's what I'm tasting. I think my mother has a radar nose too. Yeah, I'll go through some of this and redo some of the mortar in here. On the next live stream. What, do you know what berry that is, Mudbrooker? Of course, I eat lemons and I'll eat them just straight, and I taste the sweeten them too, but part of that's the old habit from choir, using lemons to condition your throat before you have to get up and sing. So I've gotten into the habit of just, I'll eat lemons. I love it. Why are you trying to provoke your parents? Oh, wow. I got all the way around the chimney today. Woohoo! Okay, let's get some more gray. I got time yet. Do people on the spectrum I don't understand the question. Now I gotta take the fine brush and go in with this white and gray and get this mortar corrected. I have a few spots and I'm sorry you can't see, but I gotta be able to see it. Actually, I don't think that looks bad. I don't know if I have to correct a lot of this. Kind of looks like the mortar's crumbling a little bit, which is what I want. I don't think I'm going to correct any of that. Alright, so next time I'm going to have just his boots to go. On the autism spectrum, I imagine some of them are. Alright. So yeah, I got the chimney done. That part of the chimney done on Santa. I made some accomplishments tonight. I'm gonna swap the camera. There we go. So I have about 15 minutes yet. Yeah, I imagine some are though. Especially if there's like an OCD component or something. Especially with some on the spectrum, if they tend to focus and fixate on certain things. Some of them may fixate on dietary, on tastes. So I imagine it's entirely possible. She probably will decide she's comfortable the way she is. I know she said before that she's been super skinny, you know, and she didn't appreciate that, so we'll see. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, Sea Siren Janine looks really good. I gotta get that glaring light out of my face. Ugh. There. I feel like I'm human. Just not ready to go to work tonight. That's what I should do. I had this bad image of me going outside in the snow with nothing on. My survival fat. Oh, I didn't even realize that she had gained weight. Because she just looks good overall, so. Well, that's her. She's a very pretty gal. Couldn't tell I was going to run out of steam that bad. Okay, what have I got over here? One of my little ponies. Oh, I didn't even realize that Janine was 40. I don't know why I didn't realize that, but yeah, she doesn't look like she's 40. Even with having gone through her, you know, her extremely restrictive vegan phase and everything. Did not realize that she was that old. Yeah, I had just gotten a few ponies for like $10 off of eBay. I got pretty lucky, so I got that one too. These ones I'm not going to repaint. Just because I like them. Although, I'm trying to figure out why Nightmare Moon's horn is kind of going, Eve. Bend upward. Get, Might have to take a hairdryer and shape her horn. Your mom's cousins to me, I think that might be your first cousin once removed. I think that's how it's phrased. I don't know. That's all really confusing to me. Oh, I gotta remember that needs to go in Christmas stuff. That's for the one kid. On camera sorting my art room here. There's so much stuff I have to sort. Oh my gosh. And for my other pack of 10, I got that one too. Or pack for 10. These 3 big ones was $10. I'm like, sweet. Oh, her wing is upside down though. That would be why. These ones are cool because they were actually done by deviant artists that Hasbro commissioned. Or they took their images and actually made these into sculptures. So they're pretty cool. I like them. I'm a strange old bird. I'm not as old as I say I am, I guess. So much stuff I have to start wrapping up and getting ready for Christmas and just more work. I know it accidentally happens. To have it deliberately happen, no, I'm exhausted. I almost canceled this live stream tonight because I've been up since 4:30 and it's almost 10 p.m. now, and it just took me such a long time to wake up. I'm still not awake. So I gotta go and make food and make food for work. And then finish getting ready for work. Sometimes I think I'm insane. I might be a little insane. Not to the extent other people are insane, but I'm sure I got my own sanity issues. No, I just woke up and couldn't get back to sleep, and sometimes I do that. Especially, I wanted to make sure I was up in time to at least get my bath and everything before the live stream. But, it kind of, it is insane. So, I'll just be, on my break tonight at work. I'll be, probably doing some yoga and some walking in place and stuff, and exercise, keep myself awake. But I need to finish getting ready and go have supper and stuff. So I think I'm going to call it a night. And I'm planning on streaming again on Wednesday. And I am off on Wednesday, so I won't have to work. Hoping it'll be a longer one. And we'll just see where we go from there. Thank you, Sadie, but I have to. Because I have a little kid dependent on me tonight, and I have to stay awake, basically, so they don't die. And you have kids living on with machines breathing for them and stuff like that. Falling asleep can be fatal. And that's just my job. So, you know, I got to make sure that I have everything ready to go and bringing drawing stuff with tonight at work too. And some places I have to sit in the dark and watch a kid and make sure the machines are breathing and that they're breathing and all of that. And so then I'll bring, you know, like my Game Boy Advance or something with, but like I have light to work with tonight, so I'll be drawing on break and stuff, but I still have to be able to stay awake and keep an eye on the child and make sure they're okay and do their medications and do all of that stuff. So it's the nature of being a home care nurse, you know. So anyway, I do have to call it though, so I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you on Wednesday. So have a fantastic night, and everybody get some good sleep for me. I'll be jealous. Okay, blessed be y'all. Good night. How do I stop this crazy thing?